number, your manager will then assign you to the same micros card, okay? But for today's purpose, this will be 111.
111?
Yep.
Okay.
It automatically starts with an open check, all right? Now you're gonna need to assign your drawer. You click this little box looking square thing. Function, financial, cash drawer, and then you're gonna select your name. So right now you're train 1-1, train 1, open. And then it opens up, you put your money in, you close it. Click done, exit, new order. Okay, everyone still good on assigning drawers? All right. So you have a fast bar menu. If anything here you can't find, you can actually go into the actual areas. So let's say we want a glass of Merlot. This one's a glass of Cab, but you don't see Merlot. You can go glass of wine, Merlot. Okay, go back to the fast bar screen. So all of the drafts automatically is 16 ounce. We do offer 32 ounce. So if they want a 32 ounce of Blue Moon, you gotta click 32 to highlight it white, and then click Blue Moon, you see Blue Moon 32. Okay? Now if they want something on the rocks or something double, you actually have to click the category of liquor first and then click rocks or double, so it's the opposite in drafts. I'm sorry for that. I don't know why.
Wait a minute, say that last part again. You have to do what now?
So if let's say you want double Jose, you gotta do Jose double. You cannot do double Jose. It actually, you see what it did? No, well, that was a bad.
So then what's the rocks for?
If they want it on the rocks.
For what?
Does
So
it charge extra?
yes, it charges extra. So the prices here is a little bit different because this is under as an event bartender, not a banquet bartender. So banquet might be a little bit different. Okay, just like how your prices are different.
They charge extra for rocks. Let me just get past that.
Right.
Yes, they charge extra for rocks is because it's kind of considered a long pour.
It's a larger pour.
Yeah,
Supposed to be a
it's
bigger
supposed to be a
pour.
larger pour. All right, so let's do Jack on the rocks. Okay.
So,
Okay.
okay.
All right, let's get past the price
Okay.
point. We're working these events. We are not paying for it.
No,
okay?
it's not that. It's the fact that you have to charge.
Yes.
I mean,
It's a
bring
different
in-
pour.
Yeah.
Per se. Okay, so beverages, soft drinks are there. It's split off with juices here for you guys. Drafts. So if you don't want to use this screen, let's say you don't like using that, you can do draft. These are all 16 and these are all 32s. So that's easier for you. Okay. Glass of wine, same thing. So I'm going to allow you guys to really go through it and play with it a little bit, but I'm just going to go over a couple more things. So there's going to be a food screen as well. Right now, you don't really see anything, but that's just that. So let's say I accidentally clicked Jack Daniels and I didn't mean to. You can highlight it and delete it if you did not send it yet. If you send it, you'll see asterisks on the side of it. So let's say I press close screen. It's now sent. So now,
I'm sorry.
so now if you need to void anything, you would need a manager swipe. So let's say I accidentally click Merlot. Oops. And let me return.
Oh, I thought we were going to have void
Delete.
capability. No.
No, you can only void it if you didn't send it yet. So it is a bartender screen, so you can actually void it out right away. The only time you ever sent it is if you click order or you click the close button or
Right.
a new tab button.
But a lot of times we'll run a consumption tab.
So that's going to be a different deal.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll worry about that another time.
Okay.
But let's say I want to split it onto another check because I need the Merlot voided out from my manager or comped off. Split, add, Merlot, highlight over, and then there you go. Cool. Then you can close this out to, let's say, well, fast cash means that they gave exact change. So you should only click that if they gave you exactly 36. If they gave you 40, you click close, cash, 40. Okay. So then it tells you the change, it gives you the receipt, and this is the check that you needed voided out from your manager, right? You click return. New order. So you're going to actually name this tab as void or however you want it to, so then you can let your manager know. It goes to a new check. For you to go back to that voided check for your manager later, you just click on that home screen again, and that's the check that they can void later on. Okay, so you don't need them right away. Okay? Now, I want to make myself clear. There is no tabs ever. Okay? It's pay for you to get it right away. That's it. No tabs. The only time you would ever name that tab is because you needed it voided out. from a manager at a later time point.
But there's no issue with just closing out your checks later, right? You don't have to close all your checks.
You should close out all your checks as you go. Always.
Because a lot of times with the volume and stuff like that, we never, well and again,
are you talking about credit card?
Yes.
So, okay. So, good idea.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Dana, can I please borrow your Visa credit card? All right. So, you guys are going to love this.
So,
all right.
So while before you ring that up, go ahead and click on a new tab or open a tab, swipe a card. Where did you put that name?
Right here.
Yep. No. So I want you to open another check with the same thing.
With the Merlot? Does it
You want a duplicate check?
No. Open tab.
I did. This is new.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Swipe a credit card.
Why would I do that?
Just swipe a credit card. And it should be able to pick up a name off of the credit card.
So. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
It's because here, swipe the card again. I must have turned something off.
Anyways, I'm gonna go back to this. So you click close. You gotta actually click in the.
You just say what it is.
Visa, yes. Now, I'm sorry. But
For now.
For now.
Yes, for now.
So,
Until
Visa?
we go to those.
Anyways, if anything.
Oh, it's
so
a chip. Okay.
if I have 2 cards and I'm like, oh, can you put 5 on here and 5 on here? You can actually adjust it before you swipe. Okay. Now, if they just want to do a $10, if they tell you, hey, put $2 on there, you can do it right away. But if they don't, like normal people, you just click whenever, swipe the card, it goes through, click OK. Now it's authorizing. And then it closed it out. So now you can't actually see that check anymore. So at the end of your shift, you're going to have to go back into any checks that have a tip on there and close it out. So let's say he gives you a $2 tip.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
You go under tips. You go under whichever card they used. So
Oh God.
no. Now, if you have a lot of checks,
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah,
Let me explain.
Okay.
You can look up check.
Yeah. Put
Check
in the
number,
check number.
10043.
Yeah.
So it's right there.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Okay. So let's say they gave $2. Okay. Click OK. And then you go back. There's the $2. Now let's say.
Then do you close it again?
No, it's already closed. I just had to refresh it for it to show up.
So you just do the tip and then it automatically there's no
Adjusted everything.
What-
So there's no finalized check. It's
And
just this.
And I know you said no, there's no comps, but there's no swiping other players' card to get points either.
Well, we're still
Not
working
yet?
on that. We're still working on
Okay,
that.
okay. So right now,
but
no
the first
points.
couple of events, it's just cash and credit card.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say they actually put $20 and you forgot to put the extra 0. So you can just go back in there, find the check that you need, adjust it to the correct amount.
Wait, what did you hit to adjust it though?
Nothing. I just clicked it again.
And you're doing that to change the total?
Yeah, to change the tip in case you accidentally didn't put it in right. So let's say you put 20, but it was a $2 tip. You just go back to tips, go back to that, and then put $2.
So
Okay.
You just keep dinging my card.
Yeah. See. All right. So
wife's gonna call
the
me
difference
in a minute.
the difference is that micros you actually need management to do all of that.
Or you couldn't do it
I
at
know-
all. You would
at,
just lose it.
yeah. At the end of the day, I know you guys are a little tired, so sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
So now you can do it your dating self. I almost cussed. I'm sorry. There you go. So that's all your tips, and then we still pay you out at the end in cash. Well, manager will have to do that for you out of your own drawer. So they told me that tomorrow they'll have a better idea of it, but we can actually try now. So I'm gonna unassign myself first. Okay, I'm gonna take out all my money, right? And then I'm gonna go back to checkout. Run your checkout, yes. So right now it tells you your cash due and stuff like that, but we still are doing a blind drop. So you're not gonna see that, but you'll see your charge tips right here. And then the manager will actually have a function in their own screen to pay you out at the end with your own bank. So it's still the same thing as that. Now, the good thing about the whole drawer situation, well, let me clock out of there. So now we gotta clock back in. So this is where if you guys are doing different events, so you work for banquets and you're doing an event and you're working for a live hall or whatever, so there's two different revenues. So you might have a bartender right here, and then you might have event bartender here. So it's different job positions. So like high limit slots and LPS will have two different sections. So that's how you would log into the right terminal revenue database. If it's different things that are offered and different payments for each.
Is that the same thing like when we do a consumption event where we're just running a tab?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
So for like banquets, it might have like banquet for consumption and then banquet for regular events or something like that. But so when you guys are assigning your drawer, let's say I was the bartender before and I forgot to unassign my drawer, but somehow I took out my money already. Happens a lot. So right now you need your managers to actually unassign them. Now you don't need that anymore. So let's say Patrick was here first. You'll see Patrick's name and you can't assign anything because it's under Patrick. You can actually just click his name and take him out and put your name in there.
Without a manager?
Yeah. Now if he is on that screen and he has that drawer, he can't actually he can't assign multiple drawers to himself, and he can't change drawers unless you have his swipe or something like that. Because a lot of people are like, I don't like that you can see everyone's name and do that. But if he's physically in another drawer, it won't allow you guys to actually see him anyways. If you get what I mean. Another thing. If you start a check here, let's say 32 ounce draft Miller, and then you're like, oh shoot, I think they said Bombay, maybe they said Tanqueray. You can click done, run to the guest real quick, and then come back to any of the screens, and I'll still have that check open up. Okay? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if this check is open right here, you can't log into another terminal. It has to be this one, so you got to make sure you close it out. Now, let's say it's been a couple, like 2 minutes after, this whole screen will go to that screen, so it'll log you out automatically.
You remind me of my wife that you can't have my credit card.
I'm sorry. You see how I'm like, yeah, my bad, I didn't mean to. Okay, so I'm going to close this one out, and then I want you guys to go back to your screen, and remember